I don't know about you guys, but have you guys ever heard of too much of a good thing can be wonderful? I completely disagree with that. For one thing, I'm going to talk to you about like candy, glasses, and alcohol. Let's talk about candy. It could be good, but it could be bad. What if you give it to your kid? A lot of energy, doesn't go to sleep, right? And let's not forget about the teeth, those cavities. Do you guys like flossing? I'm not particularly a fan of stuff, but teeth, you don't take care of them, you eat a lot of candy, that's not a good thing, and that cannot be wonderful, because you could also potentially have diabetes. So, candy, sugar, diabetes, not good. Also, what about classes? I don't know about you guys, but I have tried taking like 5 classes, and it is not a wonderful thing. I was super stressed out, so much homework, a lot of expenses, especially when it came to the books. Let's talk about sleep. Sleep, right? I don't get much of it. Do you guys get much of it? I really don't. I get like about 4 to 6 hours, or maybe even 3, depending on the class or the homework that I need. How about alcohol? A lot of people like to go drinking. They go to clubs, they go to parties, birthday parties, bars. Heck, they even made the whole Dave and Buster's games and drinking and food. Don't forget about food, right? But if you get too much alcohol, you could potentially lead to drunk driving. A lot of people they don't believe in Uber. They just decide that they're still good and decide to drive, and then that could potentially lead them killing someone off the street. So like I said, too much of a good thing can be wonderful. For some people, alcohol is the best thing that could ever happen to them. They can forget about their problems, it's a celebration, and also people forget about alcohol poisoning. A lot of people ingest alcohol in different ways. The newest ways that I heard was putting up your butt. And people actually died from that just as an advice, so do not try it. That's why I disagree of the too much of a good thing can be wonderful, because although all of us may have a different perspective of what a good thing is, it is not always wonderful. Just as like you getting classes is a wonderful thing because you're going to graduate and get a degree, but if you overdo it, you just, waste your body, have like sleep deprivation. Just like candy. I love candy. Halloween, free candy. You don't have to buy it, but you can turn out to be diabetic. And if you don't like flossing your teeth, you don't like brushing your teeth, you just brush it like once every 2 days. I don't know. Some people don't even brush their teeth. I sadly do have a roommate that says that she does not brush her teeth because she forgets every morning. First thing I do every morning, brush my teeth. But like I said, teeth. With candy, it's a no-go, guys. That's why I disagree with the too much of a good thing can be a wonderful thing, because too much of it can lead to stress and terrible decisions, and of course, health as well.
Can I go next?
Here's an experience.
Okay.
Carry them, use it as an example. And 2 oxygen. Just gave them that experience. Mr. Kirkland,
Yeah.
Jojo wants to give you something.
Okay. Well.
That's why.
Okay. I'll get it in a second.
He was reading it, trying to make sure you had everything down.
I was on my check.
All right, Mary. I don't think you want to use the quote as the attention device. I think you could probably think of something a little bit more interesting than that, but I thought you had a very clear statement of your point of view. There's an excellent preview of what the structure is going to be. I like the examples that you came up with. They sound like they're going to be fun. Sometimes you treat them a little more seriously than you need to. I think the candy one, for instance, offers an opportunity for a lot of, kind of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory exposition and storytelling and that sort of stuff, and talking about maybe experiences when you had too much candy yourself. You went right for the teeth and the diabetes thing. I'd have been thinking about the kid who ate, just one too many candy bar, and suddenly they saw all their candy bars coming back, that kind of thing. But what you had was fine. I thought that was pretty good. And the other ones I thought did pretty well as well. You've got good ideas here. Sometimes it gets a little repetitive when you get to the end and you're summarizing. Felt like you were kind of going through the speech again, even though it's a summary, which I like the idea of doing the summary. It felt a little bit like you thought of something else to say about each of those points, so you went back to them, and that seemed a little bit odd. The presentation stuff, your voice projects pretty well, except right at the end you have that dropout thing that happens to a lot of people when they're finishing. They just sort of drop their voice out. There's good variety and inflection in the voice. It did feel a little bit like you were rushing, and so you want to pace yourself a little more consistently. I thought you had very good gestures. There's lots of indicators and descriptive gestures while you're speaking. They get a little distracting because you have that piece of paper in your hand, and I can tell that you've got that piece of paper in your hand because you made some notes on it, and inevitably what happens is you keep looking at that thinking something else is going to show up there, and it's not. It's just one of those things that becomes a distraction to you. So, and the audience pays attention to it. So you can get rid of that. You knew what your 3 points were. You didn't need to keep looking at that. The body movement stuff, I think you swivel around a little bit and kind of move at the hips, which is great. It did seem a little bit like you were kind of planted in the one spot. You've got your feet in that one spot, and they never move for the time that you're speaking. And that looked a little unnatural. I think you could relax a little bit and maybe step forward to emphasize a point, or approach one part of the audience and then maybe do the transition thing that we talked about. That would be a little bit more naturalistic, and I think that would help there. Like I said, I thought you had a solid recap of what you were talking about, but it did seem a little bit like you were, kind of repeating and then maybe adding a couple of things in there. All right. So am I supposed to put Roberto in next and make him the next speaker? Or somebody just said they want to be next. All right.
Guess I'll be after you.
All right. So you got topics, and you're gonna send in Cindy.